welcome everybody to our February open house. It's hard to believe that it's already February. But today we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day and a little bit of history of it, and then some vintage Valentine's cards and stories. So first, just a couple brief things. If you're not presenting, so if you're not Gina or myself, please have your microphone muted to avoid background noises. We are recording this, so for our archives. So if you don't want your face on the video, then turn off your camera as well. Throughout the presentation, we will be using the chat if you have any questions or comments, or like to share anything else, go ahead and drop that into the chat, and I'll get through those questions as we go. Because we're a relatively small group, if you just want to chat with us, that's fine too, instead of utilizing the actual written chat. So we're going to start this presentation with a virtual introduction, though I know almost all of you know who we are, but we have a new video that we'd like to share. So
Hello, I'm Gina Gregory, President of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. In case you aren't familiar with us, here's a quick overview. The Society is a 47-year-old nonprofit volunteer organization receiving no outside funding, with the mission to collect, preserve, and stimulate public interest in the history of Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake Village, Orchard Lake Village, and West Bloomfield. The Society's home is at the Orchard Lake Museum on the southeast corner of Orchard Lake and Long Lake Roads. Unfortunately, we're closed to the public with the pandemic. We host virtual monthly open houses and program presentations. We have frequent e-blasts and social media. Explore gwbhs.org with online archives and video links posted here and on the Society's YouTube homepage. There are 10 museum outdoor exhibits you can come see anytime. Our gift shop items are available for purchase with pickup at the Orchard Lake Village City Hall. Some items are available at Orchard Lake Schools Bookstore, Orchard Lake Village City Hall, and West Bloomfield Town Hall. Our signature event, Public Annual Apple Island Tours, will be virtual June 12th and 13th in 2021. We appreciate support from our 2021 program sponsors, Gino's Italian Restaurant, Petite Gardens, and Melaleuca, the Wellness Company. We're also appreciative of our community partners, the City of Orchard Lake Village, West Bloomfield Library, Parks, Schools, and Township. You can support the Society while you shop when you choose GWBHS as your charity. To participate in shopper reward programs at smile.amazon.com, Kroger Rewards, and Melaleuca, the Wellness Company, and photos by hack.com. Every purchase provides a small donation to the Society. Become a member, volunteer, sponsor, or supporter. Why? It adds to our quality of life, brings us together, preserving, learning, and sharing our unique local history. Thank you.
okay. Oh, whoops. All right. So hopefully that all went through. That's a brand new video, so it debuted today. All right. So without lost my train of thought. Okay, so we're going to share our next video. We had started back in May of 2020. We started a collection called Collecting Memories. It originally started with COVID stories and the class of 2020 and how their graduation was impacted by the pandemic. And we're still collecting those stories. So if you have anything, pictures or words that you'd like to share, there's links on our website that you can submit stories there. We also, to build on that, we decided to do a monthly Collecting Memories campaign. And for February, it was our Valentine's Memories. And we opened that up to or a little bit early, back in the middle of January, to start collecting stories for this open house. And one of the stories we collected was from Christy Forehand, who she's an active member of the society. She's also a West Bloomfield School District Board member. So that story, Carol Fink wrote or read that, and we have some pictures to share. So I'm going to share that video now.
We asked for people to submit their Valentine's Day memories to add to our collection. Christy Forehand shared her almost 50-year Valentine tradition. She wrote, "In maybe 4th grade, my girlfriend Sally and I traded Valentines. In those days, the little animal Valentines were our favorite. This card was bigger than most and features a cute little squirrel. Sally and I liked it so much, we started trading it back and forth each year, back and forth and back and forth. Sally moved from Ohio out west, and we both went to college, got married, had kids, but that squirrel card has traveled between our homes for nearly 50 years. There's been gaps in our correspondence, but for many years, Squirrel has traveled all across the country without fail. Each year, the sender adds a signature and sends him on his way. Squirrel is in New Mexico right now, and I'm hoping he'll return to Michigan on February 14th, just like he always does." Welcome, I'm Carol Fink.
Oops. So that video was, we recorded that before the Valentine actually arrived back at Christy's house. And luckily, when I was putting the video together, she sent me the picture, so that the middle picture with all of the messages, she said that there's pages that they've attached to the original card that they had when they were in 4th grade. And they just keep adding pages. So they write, a little line and sign their name every year. And Christy had said that she hasn't seen Sally. I think she's maybe seen her once in the last 20 plus years, but they've always sent this Valentine to each other. And they apparently both named their daughters Claire, and they both have sons that are in engineering. So it's a kind of a cool coincidence. And it's really cute when you read some of the messages. It talks about when they became, their kids got married, and they became a grandma and stuff. So it's a really neat idea and really cute. So our next video we have is a little bit of history on Valentine's Day and Valentine's cards. And that's going to lead into Gina's presentation on some vintage Valentine's Day cards. So let's get that video going.
Corresponding Secretary. Welcome, I'm Carol Fink, Corresponding Secretary. Valentine's Day is second only to Christmas when it comes to sending cards to other. About 1 billion cards are sent for Valentine's Day each year. It's the second biggest card exchanging holiday after Christmas, when about 2.6 billion cards are sent annually. Today, most Valentine's cards, about 85%, are bought and sent by women. The first paper Valentines were made in the Middle Ages, but they really became popular in the 19th century when the Industrial Revolution enabled paper makers to mass produce fancy, colorful cards and make them affordable to more than just the wealthy. People loved frilly cards with decorative paper made of real lace. In the 1880s, Valentine's Day marketing began to focus on kids. Middle class and even working class kids had pocket money for the first time, and they could spend a few pennies on candies and cards. Passing out Valentine's Day in school probably started in the early 1900s. Companies had recently begun the multi-pack Valentines. This form made it easy to buy one box of cards and have enough for classmates instead of having to individually purchase cards. During the Great Depression, when money was tight, many people could still afford these colorful tokens of love and cheer. Virtually all schools celebrated Valentine's Day with a class party and a card exchange. The cards reflect the popular art, popular trends, and simple technology to create engaging cards. Let's take a look at some of our collection of kids' Valentine's cards from the early 1930s.
So now we're going to move on to Gina. So Gina, whenever you're ready, you go ahead.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm excited to share with you today my mom's Valentines, and her name is Jackie, and her sister Winnie. I have her Valentines as well. So these Valentines are about the 1935 or so, when they were 7 and 5 years old. And there's a couple hundred here, so it's been quite fun to go through them in a shoebox and then look at them. There's many varieties, so I've sorted them out as to the types that they are. My idea is to share a few of each of them with you, and then if you wish to see more, I can share more. And then after all of that, to end our open house, Tori's going to give you a fall outdoor tour of our museum. So there's a lot up there. So I'm going to begin with my favorite, which is called honeycomb tissue. This feature, it's now fairly, can you see that well enough? I hope. I can do that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. This is the honeycomb feature here. It's broken with swivel, and it said, "I'd like to be your Valentine," fairly simply. But it's a 3D kind of thing. This next one with the honeycomb says, "My Valentine, first prize, you take first prize as my Valentine." And there's a little person going for a walk with a baby carriage, top made out of a honeycomb. Next, there's a 3D variety that stand up. So this one says, "I'm hunting for you, Valentine." So it's flat, and then it stands up like so. It's so hard to do this for you to see, but there it is. Another 3D one. Well, the front says, "Get off your high horse and be my Valentine." The back says, it's all printed, "Ride a cock horse to Danbury Cross, or just an old mule will do. I don't care much, while I can share the fun ride with you." And it bends the same kind of way and sits like that. Here's one that says, "Just a little mail order. Please send me your love. My Valentine." And then it also pops out, so it sits the same way. So that's a stand-up one. I'll show a couple more. These are opening features. There's the handwriting from 3rd grade, I expect. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's cursive handwriting already with a fountain pen. Winifred from Evelyn May. It says, "I wish you'd be my Valentine." It reminds me of the Campbell Soup kids from that era. this one, I don't quite understand how you would receive it. It begins flat, and the top says, "There's not one girl compares with you. You're my Valentine, though I've searched and searched the whole world through." And then it sits. It's just got a 3D feature. It doesn't really quite sit well. And again, this is hard to do. Our technology is a little limited to photograph and share these live and all that. This last one of that says, "A Valentine for you." But there's a book here that says Daisies by Dutel, whatever that means. And then you open the little flap. "May these petals tell me true, if you love me as I love you." So that's that. Next are the very best ones, I think, because they're the most fanciest. They're 3D in a larger sense. "To my Valentine." This one was printed in Germany. It folds open, and it just stands a little better. There's more technology to it, so it really does stand. I'm not even having to hold it. How about that? And so it has a little bit of a honeycomb feature there. Actually, it's very nice. Here's another one printed in Germany. "To my Valentine." It folds out. Whoops. And then these are getting old, so I taped it and the tape fell off. It would go it sits on 2 levels. Whoops, there, let me put it there. It's a little too hard to share. I taped it when I rehearsed a couple days ago and it fell apart. But that's how it goes. Here's another 3D Valentine, larger, printed in the USA. It reads, "Most any card perhaps might do to take the message, I love you. But this one seems the best to convey my loving thought of you today." And we have, here it says, "Take a ride to win a heart, my Valentine." So this is a amusement park ride concept. Back here's a cart, and that's it. Another fun feature are the swivel cards. Well, technology. And they're getting old, so they don't work so well. "Valentine, there's something brewing," from Betty June. And so if you move the handle on the top, up and down, is a heart that says, "I love you." Here's where we see that 1930s culture with the, reminds me of the movies, when they're dancing cheek to cheek, and she has on fairly heavy makeup. And so the swivel feature on this one is the handle, a heart that will then move their legs, their 2 legs together. That's his leg and her leg together. So they're dancing cheek to cheek. This one says, "No change for me, you fit the bill." So here we have a dark piece that moves, and her hand goes up and down on the cash register. Another feature one was paper dolls. So you have the doll, and then on her clothes, so here's this outfit on the back says, Scottish girl wears kilts and dance the hornpipe. They're very nice girls, but you're just my type. It also has a hat with it. That says, each Scottish lassie wears a tam. I'm in love with you. That's what I am. So there's her little hat to go with her outfit. But wait, there's more because she has another outfit. Two more. This one says on the back, dressed like a Swedish girl. Dolly, you'll look fine. Both she and you captured this heart of mine. The little hat says, I don't know if you can see it so well, I'm telling you now what you probably know, that this hat with the Swedish costume should go. This little dress says, from Holland comes this Dutch girl's dress. I hope will bring you happiness. And the hat says, the Holland Dutch hat caps of white. I hope that you'll be filled with delight. I'm sure those were popular. Paper cutouts were very popular. Which is a good segue into our next one of Frenemy Cards. Who knew in the 1930s they had Frenemy Cards? I didn't think that, but we have some. They're more of a, they're made in the USA. They're about 10 inches by 7, all the same size. So maybe they all came in one package, but maybe they were all a pack of Frenemy cards. This one said, Lighthead Hattie Lou. So in the background here, we have an airplane. We have a guy with a crew cut saying, and here's a caption that says, some doll. Lightheaded Hattie Lee. Your touch is as light as a zephyr, and with the lightness of footsteps you tread. But all of that is light about you. There's nothing as light as your head. So we're talking about the zephyr and her being lightheaded. This one, she's in a beauty bath machine. How's that for dated concept? She's in this square box, like a sweat machine. There she is. She's kind of got a nurse attendant next to her. And the heart said, your face is your fortune. And it says beauty bath. And the words say beauty parlor queen. It takes steam baths and gallons of powder and paint to make you look like something that you ain't. Aren't you happy to get that one? And the last Frenemy card for now says, Prude, your heart is cold. You're out of date. You're as gay as zero weather. You think a nest is just to hold the body and the head together. Pretty incredible.
So all of these are from the 1930s?
Yeah, they're all from like 1 or 2 years worth. In the beginning, we talked about how they could be printed. So I came across this Valentine that's like of an adult quality. It says, to my Valentine across the miles, printed in the USA, and it opens up. It's made on a folded sheet of paper. Oh, and this one, the person signed it on the very inside.
Oh, it's actually from her uncle. To bequeath a swallow from the buffalo swallows. That's her grandparents and uncle. I never opened it that far. So it goes like that. And it says, though far from you, fond thoughts and true, travel out your way to bring bright smiles across the miles with greetings for Valentine's Day. Uh, and this one, here's what I was meaning to share with you. They talked about how you could buy a whole lot of them. And so this one reads on the back, Valentine's for 1936. John F. O'Neill Company, 325 North 13th Street, Philadelphia, number 121, Valentine Wishes. This actual sample, package 25, one designed to a box, plain EPS period, weight 0.27 pounds, price 25 per M. So I'm thinking you can buy a million of these for $25. Certainly they must have sold them in allotments smaller than a million. There's a sample of what you could buy. My Valentine wishes for you, and it has a real little red ribbon here. Within this Valentine token are wishes fond and true, and this message tells you truly, I'll always remember you. So there we have that version. So I have many more. They just show the artwork. You know, well, here's one with a old-fashioned microphone, like from the 30s. Here's one with a car. Certainly that artwork from the 30s. Um, Here's one of I'm Falling for You with the Scarecrow Wizard of Oz, reflecting the movie that was popular then or coming out. And just more of a policeman, little kids talking to each other. So if you'd like to see more, you can. They're probably fairly hard to see. Uh, when we're open again in the future, I can bring these back some year and you can look at them all because there's just lots to see. Any questions?
We Barb had asked about how old the Valentines were, and you said that they were from the 30s, but were they were your mothers and your aunts?
Yeah, they were sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woody and Jackie Swallow. Yeah.
Okay.
So they were just all in a shoebox, and I came across them and looked at them and shared them with board members, and they said, "Whoa, these are kind of fun." And there's some that are more politically correct than others, and with the movies and the artwork and the sentiments and all, it's fun to take a look back in time. And some of our
That's a
kids,
great collection you
yeah,
have.
and
Very
my
nice.
kids are now 30. I know they did school parties back in the day. I can't say that I've come across Valentine's for kids to buy in packs anymore. I don't even know.
Yeah, we did those when I was growing up, and I'm right around the same age as your kids. And it was very, like, it was one of those little, they were maybe about this big, and you taped a little Hershey Kiss or one of those, just a piece of candy from one of those big bags that you get at Target or Meijer or whatever. And it was like, will you be my Valentine or some dumb like that. And they were a lot of themed like Disney movies or TV shows, that we were growing up watching. And I only did them because we had to do them in elementary school. And then that's it. I didn't really do anything else. My mom would give me a Valentine's Day card every year. But they were never like this. So if these were for kids, they were never this elaborate, or some of them seemed passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like the Frenemy ones especially.
Yeah. And so, I've got 4 of those out of 200. Not too many.
Yeah.
Lots of them have this folding feature.
Mhm.
Um, Oftentimes they're play on words that I personally think are fun. Uh, Kind of more of what I grew up with, I guess.
Charles asked, so your mother's last name was Swallow.
Yeah.
He said the Rockwood First Congregational Church in Rockwood, Michigan, was founded in the home of a Miss Emmeline Swallow.
That's not a name that rings for my family because my branch of the Swallows moved out to Kansas back in the 1880s. But that family's been in America for a long time, so there's no telling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No telling. This dog has on like a bellhop hat, popular from the 30s. This one, and it's even two-sided. And he stands up. I guess the front says, "Please tell me, will you be my Valentine? I'd be sad if you won't have me." And then the back flips over to say, "So please say you will be mine, USA." And then somebody wrote on the inside, "Dear Winifred, I wish you would be mine and hurry back to Oklahoma City. P.S. Kenneth moved to Elvis."
So I
She
can't
moved to Elvis, so maybe this is for my Aunt Winnie who never mailed it.
believe some of them are. They're all in full color.
Oh yeah, they are, and they're all fairly sturdy.
Yeah.
And some of them have the metal grommet so that you can swivel them, or with this honeycomb tissue. Uh, yeah, I can see why they save them.
Any idea how much they would cost? Like if they weren't in a box?
No telling. I'm going to think not much because this is all in the middle of the Depression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, does anybody else have any questions, comments, Valentine stories they want to share since we're together on Valentine's Day? Oh, does anyone know the history of St. Valentine's Day? When did it start? I know that there was a St. Valentine's Day massacre, but that comes from my forensic science background and interest in crime.
He was back, Rob might remember, we were just reading that last night and I left the paper at home. That I think it goes back to Roman times and he was persecuted by the Roman Church, Roman Catholic Church, and became a saint. Rob, do you remember more? You have to unmute to share it. I don't know.
Here I'm pulling something up now. I can share it. Let's see. So basically it started Valentine's Day. It occurs every February 14th. So it's celebrating Saint Valentine. The Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, all of whom were martyred. One legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century Rome, when Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families. He outlawed marriage for young men. Valentine, realizing the injustice of the decree, defied Claudius and continued marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. Still others insist that it was Saint Valentine of Terni, a bishop, who was the true namesake of the holiday. He too was beheaded by Claudius II outside Rome. Other stories suggest that Valentine may have been killed for attempting to help Christians escape harsh Roman prisons, where they were often beaten and tortured. Oh, that's good. According to one legend, an imprisoned Valentine actually sent the first, quote, Valentine greeting himself after he fell in love with a young girl, possibly his jailer's daughter, who visited him during his confinement. Before his death, it's alleged that he wrote her a letter signed "From Your Valentine," an expression that's still in use today. Although the truth behind the Valentine legends is murky, the stories all emphasize his appeal as a sympathetic, heroic, and most importantly, romantic figure. By the Middle Ages, perhaps thanks to this reputation, Valentine would become one of the most popular saints in France. So there you go.
Thank you. That was good. Or not good. We'll see.
Yeah, no, not good for Valentine. I guess good for us. Not sure where the candy and chocolate and all of that comes in, but the card definitely. The cards make sense. All right. So that concludes our open house today. Thank you everybody for joining us. And we hope to see you. Thanks, Barb. We hope to see you all next week and next month. Our next open house will be the second Sunday in March, and we'll be talking about the 1976 tornado that came through West Bloomfield. And that is actually, this year marks its 45th anniversary, surprisingly. Right? Yeah. So we will be talking about that. And if you have any stories to share, or if you know anyone who has any stories about the tornado to share, there will be a link to submit those stories up on the website and through our email and social media pages soon. So keep your eyes open for those. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Thank you, Corey and Gina. Really nice job. It was very interesting. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks.
Good job.
Thank you for watching. Please support Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society efforts at gwbhs.org. Thank you.